Change doesn't always feel like an earthquake. Sometimes it comes soft in silence. So still, you don't realize you've become someone else, until the mirror no longer feels like a stranger or a friend, just a witness. When nothing seems to be happening, when life feels still, when every day looks the same, that's when the real shift begins. Transformation isn't always loud. It's the quiet decision not to react. It's the slow letting go of things once clung to out of fear. It's the morning you wake up and finally feel peace, not because everything is fixed, but because the need to fix it is gone. People think life changes in breakthroughs, but most of the time it changes in patience, in stillness, in surrender. Not everything needs to be forced. Not every answer needs to arrive in urgency. Some of the most powerful turning points begin in seasons where it feels like nothing is happening, but under the surface, the heart is rearranging. The values are shifting. The soul is shedding old layers it never had the chance to mourn. The silence you fear is not empty. It's sacred. It's where the noise of the past loses its grip. It's where clarity finds its way back into your chest. Growth doesn't announce itself. You just start choosing differently. You start speaking softer. You start walking away sooner. You start allowing yourself to rest without guilt. That's what change really looks like. Not a transformation of the world, but a quiet returning to yourself. Stillness is not wasted time. It's sacred ground. A hidden chapter that doesn't look like progress but becomes the foundation for everything that comes after. When nothing is moving, when life feels paused, when each day echoes the last, that's where the internal world is being rewritten. Not visibly, not loudly, but deeply. Most people fear the in-between. They call it a rut. They panic, thinking they're falling behind. But the soul knows what it's doing. It silences the outside, so the inside can be heard. This is where healing begins. Not in chasing, but in stopping. The still seasons teach what no victory ever can. Patience, detachment, faith in the unseen. This is when you learn to live without applause, to rest without guilt, to choose peace over momentum, and to understand. Not every chapter is meant to be loud. Some chapters are meant to soften you, to humble your pace, to show you the difference between movement and meaning. When nothing happens, you begin to notice the smallest things again. The shape of your thoughts, the heaviness you've carried, the moments that used to drain you without question. You start asking deeper questions. Why do I keep chasing what exhausts me? Why do I stay in rooms where my spirit shrinks? Why do I keep proving things to people who don't even see me? Stillness breaks illusions. It shows you what's real, not by revealing something new, but by removing what was never true. And that kind of clarity doesn't come in noise. It comes in the pause. So if life feels slow right now, if you're in a season where nothing seems to be moving, stay there. Don't rush it. Don't label it. Just listen. Because when everything feels like it's standing still, that's often the moment. Everything inside you is starting to shift. Something subtle happens after a season of stillness. Not a sudden breakthrough, not a grand revelation, but a soft becoming. The kind that doesn't need to be explained. There's a different kind of strength born in the quiet. The kind that doesn't need to prove anything. It just is. Rooted, grounded, clear. After all the noise is gone, after the pressure has faded, there's a moment when life begins again. Not from outside achievements, but from alignment. You no longer chase what isn't yours. You no longer force doors that were never meant to open. You stop begging the world to validate your worth. Because now, you know, everything you were looking for, peace, clarity, identity, was never outside. It was always waiting for you to come home to yourself. This is where growth lives. In the quiet choices. In the boundaries no one sees. In the thoughts you don't speak, but finally understand. You become lighter. Not because life is easier, but because you stopped carrying what wasn't yours to begin with. You forgive. Not to fix the past, but to free your future. You begin again. Not out of desperation, but out of devotion to the life that's really meant for you. When nothing happens, the soul has space to whisper what it's been trying to say for years. And finally, you hear it. You don't need to rush anymore. You don't need to catch up. You don't need to become anything. You're already unfolding, right on time. So let this be the beginning, not of striving, not of forcing, but of listening, of being, of honoring the slow, sacred rhythm that life was always trying to teach you. You're not stuck. You're not behind. You're in the middle of something holy, and that's enough.
Later is the most dangerous word in the language of the soul. It sounds harmless, like there's always more room, more days, more chances. But life doesn't run on promises, it runs on moments. And the truth no one wants to face is this: you won't always have time. One day the message won't get sent. The voice you've grown used to hearing will go silent. The plan will stay written, but never lived. Later is the lie that keeps people numb. It convinces hearts to hold back. It keeps apologies in the throat. It keeps dreams in the dark. The world is full of people waiting to say what matters, waiting to chase what moves them, waiting for the perfect moment to live. But perfection never comes. Only time does. And it doesn't wait to see if you're ready. The days blur quickly. They slip through calendars and habits. And while you're waiting for some kind of sign, life is quietly passing by. The tragedy isn't that life is short. It's that most people don't live it while they have it. They exist in the gaps. They play it safe. They wait for someday. Until there are no more days left to wait for. So what if you stopped putting things off? What if today was the only chance you had to be honest? To love harder, to rest deeper, to be fully here, because the only real moment you'll ever own is this one. Time doesn't knock. It doesn't ask for permission. It doesn't tell you when it's about to take something away. One day, a familiar voice becomes a memory. One day, the place you used to go doesn't feel the same. One day, your own reflection will look back with eyes that carry more memory than fire, and you won't know when that day is coming until it's already here. Time doesn't steal loudly. It takes in silence. It removes slowly. Not just people or places, but energy, connection, opportunity. You'll never get back the exact way someone looked at you before you disappointed them. You'll never recreate the version of yourself that was bold enough to dream without fear until you talked yourself out of it. That's what time takes. It takes the chance, the firsts, the fresh starts you never used. And still, most people act like there's a backup life waiting for them. Like this one is just the warm-up, but there's no second run. This is it. That doesn't mean you should panic, it means you should wake up. Urgency doesn't mean chaos. It means intention. It means saying, I love you, without waiting. It means trying, even if you're unsure. It means choosing presence. Not as an escape, but as a devotion. Time is never the enemy, but wasting it is. Because what time won't do is return. It gives you every breath only once. It gives you every sunset only once. It gives you every chance to speak, to forgive, to be fully here only once, and then it's gone.
Not everything we carry is visible. Not every burden makes a sound. Some of the heaviest things we hold have no shape, no voice, no name. They live in our posture, in the silence between words, in the way we hesitate before trusting again. Life has a way of placing things in our hands we never asked for. Grief that came too early, responsibilities we weren't ready for, memories that replay in the quiet hours when no one's watching, and yet we carry them. We carry the pressure to be okay. We carry the need to keep going, even when the soul wants to pause. We carry guilt for things we couldn't fix, and shame for things we couldn't control. The truth is, everyone is carrying something. Even the ones who smile the most. Even the ones who never speak about it. But the problem is, we get so used to holding pain that we start thinking it's part of who we are. We let it define us. We build routines around it. We learn to hide it instead of heal it. There comes a moment, though, a sacred one, where we're no longer afraid to set things down, not because they didn't matter, but because they no longer belong to the person we're becoming. That moment is not about forgetting. It's about honoring. It's about knowing what served its purpose and what doesn't need to be carried any longer. There's a quiet hour in every life when it becomes clear that time was never the enemy, but everything we postponed was. And by the time that realization comes, we start trying to hold tighter to the very moments we once ignored. But the truth is simple. Life is not waiting for you to feel ready. It's not pausing for you to fix everything first. It's moving. Right now, with or without your full presence, you won't always have the chance to tell someone how deeply you cared, to return the call, to show up, to finally let yourself be seen. You won't always be strong. You won't always be busy. You won't always be here. And no matter how much you try, you can't make time slow down. But you can make yourself show up inside it. Let your life be a practice of presence, not a pursuit of perfection. Say it when it matters. Start before you're ready. Forgive without waiting for the other person to deserve it. Rest without needing to earn it. Because while you're still breathing, there's time to return, to choose differently, to hold someone longer, to look up and actually see what's in front of you. No one's keeping score at the end. No one's asking how fast you got there. The only question that echoes when it's quiet is, did you live it while you had it? If the answer is no, then let today be the day you change that, before time moves again.